So we are again going to revise the portion, this weekend portion. So the discovery of electron. So electron discovered by Thomson, J. Thomson in discharge ray cathode tube. In discharge ray cathode tube. So in the discharge ray cathode tube, he has taken the cathode metal. This is the cathode and this is the anode. This is anode. So these are connected to the battery with 10,000 volts. 10,000 volts. Here there is a outlet. This is the outlet. From here vacuum pump. This is vacuum pump. So through this any evacuated desired pressure is present which can be removed. This is a vacuum pump. So we can remove the desired pressure. Here he has taken the gas. So when electric discharge is subjected to the gas, from cathode rays are travelled towards to anode. Here cathode is the negative plate, anode is the positive plate. So in the discharge tube he has taken the gas with very low pressure, 0.01 mm of Hg. Very less pressure he has taken, 0.01 mm Hg pressure he has taken. This is a cathode ray discharge tube. So when the gas is subjected to high voltage, 10,000 volts voltage, from cathode rays, the cathode rays are travelled towards to cathodic plate. So based on this we can identify that cathode rays have negatively charged particle because they are attracted towards to anode. So they are moving towards to anode, positive charge. So those are having negatively charged particles. And when these cathode rays are observed by taking the fluorescent material. So fluorescent material, so that is the fluorescent material if you take. So this is the fluorescent material. It is a zinc sulfide fluorescent material. So here these are cathode rays. Here we are taking anode, cathode and anode. So the battery is connected to here. Here we kept electric field. This is electric field. So plus minus, this is electric field. So electric field and magnet. We applied a magnet also towards the here magnet. This is the north pole. This is the south pole. So the cathode rays are in the absence of electric and magnetic field. In the absence of electric and magnetic field, these cathode rays are travelled with straight one deflection. Without deflection, cathode rays are travelled and touch at point A. In the absence of electric and magnetic fields, the cathode rays, negatively charged rays, are travelled and touch at a point A. And so these are cathode rays are nothing but electrons. Those cathode rays are negatively charged particles. They are only called as electrons. This electron's name was suggested by the Stoney scientist, but discovered by Thomson. So the cathode, from the cathode rays are travelled. Those cathode rays are invisible particles. So to observe their behavior, have taken fluorescent material. Fluorescent material, that is zinc sulfide. When any invisible particle touch collide this screen, it should be glows up. It should be shows oscillations. It can be glows up. So when in the absence of electric and magnetic fields passed, then they touch it point A without any deflection. In the presence of electric field, only if you apply electric field, the cathode rays are attracted towards to positive plate and deviate towards to positive plate and touch at point B. Touch at point B. In the presence of electric field, touch at point B. That means they are attracted towards to positive plate. That means they have definitely negatively charged particles. Definitely they have negatively charged particles. And also, in the presence of electric field, magnetic field, and if you remove electric field and apply a magnetic field, they are attracted towards the south pole and touch at point C. Touch at point C. So they show deviation in the presence of electric and magnetic fields. So they are attracted towards the positive plate in the electric field, and in the magnetic field they are attracted towards to south pole and touch at point C. In the presence of both fields, they are touch at point A. In the absence of both fields, they touch at point A. So based on this factors, these observations, Thomson explained that electron have negatively charged particles. Negatively charged particles. The extent of deviation, in how much they can be attracted. Deviation is depends on the field strength of electric and magnetic fields, and the charge magnitude. The charge increases, the attraction is increases. The deviation is increases. The charge magnitude increases, the deviation increases, and field strength increases, deviation increases. And also the particles are very light. Lighter the particles, more deviation. Lighter the particles, more deviation. So based on these characteristics, the Thomson explained that electrons are the negatively charged particles. They are cathode rays only. They are attracted towards to anode. They are attracted towards to positive plate in the electric field and south pole in the presence of magnetic field. So this is cathode electron discovery by the Thomson. Now if you see, irrespective of nature of the gas taken here and irrespective of nature of metal taken in the place of cathode, the same thing we can observe. Irrespective of nature of gas, any gas you can fill here, and any metal plate here, if you take it, the same thing we observe. So based on that we can conclude that the all matter is having the particles electrons. So electrons are the constituent particles in any material. You can any gas if you take the same observation, any metal if you take same observation. That means the all type of gases, all matter having cathode rays, nothing but electrons. So this is electron discovery. Based on this also we calculated charge to mass ratio. Based on this experiment also, Thomson calculated charge to mass ratio. Charge to mass ratio of electron charge to mass of electron. Charge to mass ratio of electron is equal to 1.75 into 10 power 11 coulombs per kilogram. Charge to mass ratio of electron is this. And then after Mulliken calculated charge on the electron. Mulliken charge of electron calculated. Charge of electron. This is charge to mass ratio of electron, and the charge of electron calculated by Mulliken by oil drop experiment. Oil drop experiment. Mulliken calculate charge of electron by oil drop experiment. That he calculated the charge of electron by the Mulliken oil drop experiment. He observed in his experiment each oil drop have consist charge, that is n times of 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs he observed. So for this there are some 10 into, and for this and 12 into this value, for this and 20 into this value, for this for example 50 into this value. That means he observed on every oil drop he observed the charge n times of 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. So that's why finally if electron charge he concluded that is 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs with minus charge. So the charge on each oil drop is n times, that means integral multiple of this value. The charge on each oil drop he calculated in his oil drop experiment, that is integral multiple of this value. So that's why he concluded that the electron charge also this value. So this is Mulliken electron charge discovery. Next we know that charge to mass ratio of electron and charge of electron. Based on that, we can calculate mass of electron. So mass of electron equal to, so charge to mass ratio by charge of electron. If you take that is 1.75 into 10 power 11 coulombs per kg, and charge of electron 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. So if you simplify this, you will get 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kilograms. The mass of electron is 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kilograms. So this is about the electron. Next, proton discovery. So proton discovered by the scientist Goldstein. So Goldstein in same cathode ray discharge tube he discovered. In cathode ray discharge tube only he discovered. So here he has taken anode. This is an anode, and here he has taken cathode. Here is taken cathode. They are attached to high voltage, and the cathode rays are traveled attracted towards to cathodic place, because they have anode negative charges and they have cathode rays are negative charges. Anode rays are positive charges. So upon electric discharge, here again he has taken gas and he has taken metal plate. These anode rays are traveled towards to cathode because they are attracted towards to negative plate. That means they are positively charged particles. They are attracted towards to anode and touched at point A at fluorescent material. This again zinc sulfide material, which can be shows the behavior of anodic rays. These are anodic rays are traveling. So in the absence of electric and magnetic field, they are touched at point A without any deflection. But in the presence of electric field, they are attracted towards to negative plate. And touch at point C, because they have positively charged particle. So that's why they are attracted towards to negative plate of electric field and touch at point C. And in the presence of magnet, they are attracted towards to south pole and touch at point B. In the presence of magnet, they are attracted towards to north pole. In the presence of electric field, attracted towards to negative plate. So based on this, we can conclude that Goldstein concluded that the anodic rays, that mean anodic rays are positively charged particle. They have positive charge and they are only as protons. So proton